Founders Centennial IPA. Made in the Midwest, single hop, dry hop. What better way to spend, what night is this? Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about Founders Centennial IPA. So a little bit about Founders Brewery. Midwest brewer, Michigan. Kind of the standard story. Something you've heard a lot. Some guys decided, hey, you know what would be a great way to spend some money? Let's open a brewery. So quit their day jobs, yada, yada, yada. Next thing you know, you have Founders Brewery. Had some early missteps. If you read their website, they talk about almost going bankrupt because their beer just wasn't selling. So they got a little creative, they went back to the lab, and now 6 World Beer Cup medals and a bunch of other awards later, they're making some really quality beer. So today we're going to take a look at one of their beers, one of their flagship series that always available year-round is going to be their Centennial IPA. So now on to the tasting. So here we go. Founders Centennial IPA. You can see a real rich amber color, frothy, kind of frothy white head. On the nose, some citrusy hop aroma. Not a lot of floral nature. We'll talk a little bit in a minute about hops because you can really nerd out about hops, and we will for a second. But really good on the nose, some citrus hop aroma. On the taste, solid malt backbone, and then right there is that hops. Citrus, not much floral character, and we'll talk to the Centennial hop. That's what the beer is named after in a moment, but real good bitterness from it and real good, I get a real juicy citrus flavor to it. Not some of those piney resinous notes that you might get from some other hops out there. And we'll talk about a single hop beer in a second. But overall, really refreshing. Not too heavy on the carbonation. Not too sweet, not too cloying. So for folks that are stat heads, this beer's clocking in at 7.2% ABV and 65 ABUs. So it's a really, I won't say middle of the road, it's a little higher on the IBU level, a little higher on the alcohol content, but really pretty solid as far as the style for what a traditional American IPA would be. So you've heard me talk a little bit about Centennial hopping, dry hopping. So today is going to be just a little bit of beer nerd moment. So the craft of craft beer is making something. So we'll talk a little bit about how they do that for a quick second. I promise you we won't get too sciencey, we won't get too nerdy. When a beer is brewed, wet hopping the beer is when you put hops into the boil. And brewers do that for a lot of reasons, and there's quite frankly a lot going on there. What type of hops you add, and when you add them is as you're boiling the wort. Worts today is special vocabulary word for brewers. That's unfermented beer that you're trying to make. Remember, brewers make wort, yeast make beer. I think I saw that on a t-shirt somewhere. But dry hopping, which is completely a misnomer because trust me, there's liquid involved, is adding either whole cone hops or pellet hops to the beer while it's fermenting. So what that does is it provides a lot more aroma and a lot less bitterness. The earlier you put the hops in the boil, the more bitterness, the less flavor and aroma you get. The later and later on you add them, the more the aroma comes out, less of the bitterness. So brewers discovered they can get a lot of good hop aroma off of a hop by adding it even after the boil, hence dry hopping was born. Single hop, this is a Centennial hop. It's a type of hop, it's one of the C hops, you may hear that term. It's just a type of hop that's been born and bred in Washington that was designed around its flavor profile. So what does this bring you? Some real juicy citrus, some floral, not really going for that super bitter resinous note that you get from some other hops, but wasn't tremendously popular by big macro breweries because it wasn't profitable. You needed to add, it added flavors that they weren't looking for, and it was a high alpha acid hop. We'll get a little more science on that. So it was almost extinct. Hop farmers didn't really want to grow it, until the craft beer revolution took off, and now it's quite popular amongst all of the different varieties of hops that craft brewers are using all over America. Yeah, I get a little excited about this stuff, sorry. And I'm a huge nerd. So here's the part where normally I talk about pairing, and I'm gonna talk about pairing, but I've decided that rather than tell you every possible food on earth that this could be paired with, I'm gonna give you a homework assignment. Comment below what you like this IPA or any IPA with for food. And I'm only gonna give you one suggestion, and I'll give you a hint. It's what I had for dinner tonight when I was drinking this beer initially, so it worked out well, but that's what I'm talking about. And it was some spicy Thai food. Well, spicy for me. I'm a wuss. I got number 3 out of 5. So some people will go spicier, and that's okay. But it was some spicy pad Thai, and it was delicious. Spicy pad Thai with pork, and this IPA worked beautifully. The spice interplayed well with the juicy citrus nature. The lime squeezed over there really complemented it. The spiciness cut through it, and then kind of the richness of the noodles, of the sauce, and of the pork really played really nicely with it. And I highly recommend IPAs and beers like that when you're having Thai food. So that's going to be our one tasting note for the night. But please feel free, like I said, to comment below and tell me, what do you like to pair your beers with? And we'll maybe do a beer tasting, beer pairing episode as we go forward. So some final wrap-up thoughts. Founders IPA, Centennial IPA. Do I like it? Yeah, I do. It's a good beer. Is it the most aggressive? Is it the most hoppy? Is it the most extreme IPA? No. It's just a solid beer. I would definitely give it a 7.5 to 8 out of a possible 10 on my completely arbitrary scoring system. It's a good IPA. I recommend you try it. They've got some pretty wide distribution. Plus you can have a party. It's one of the few craft beers that comes in a 15 pack. So you got that going for you. But it's solid taste, good story behind it, good IPA. So as always, until we see you next time, beers to you.